In video number 3, we got to go inside because we're going to have to make sure our scope is level on this scope and on the sniper scope. So let's get started. So we got our bench set up, so we've got our crossbow and then we've got some sandbags, and that's going to allow us to keep that nice and steady while we're putting our levels on. Now I've done this enough times I can pretty much eyeball it. But today, let's try to be a little more precise. Now we're going to get our scope level. Remember in the other video I said I'm going to tighten it down in a bit. Well, this is a bit. So let's check, make sure crossbow's still level. Yep. And then we'll check, see if our scope is level. Yep. So now we can go back in with our Allen wrench, tighten it down. The one over there in the corner is a customer's crossbow, so I'm going to do that and install a sniper scope for them, and we'll do that next. Again, don't over tighten. Do not over tighten. You are not working on a Chevy engine. Just snug them down. And in our maintenance section, we're going to talk a little bit about scope maintenance as well. All right, I believe we are snug and ready to go. And just like before, we're going to get our crossbow level. Looks good. Now, in order to do the scope, you're going to have to take the turret cap off. You see, that's not flat at all. So you've got to take that protective cover off your windage adjustment. There's 3 little set screws. It comes with a tiny little screwdriver, 3 little set screws, and you'll loosen those 3 screws and then remove the cap. And there we go. Last one. Remove the cap. Now you've got a flat surface. So let's adjust the scope and get it level. Again, that's why I cinched it down, but I did not tighten it all the way, so we get to this position here. All right, so that looks, I think we're still a little off. Little nudge there. I think that gets us. I don't know, you tell me. It looks pretty good. Crossbow still, yep, crossbow still level. As you're adjusting these bolts, don't tighten them all the way down, all the way across. What you want to do is just kind of crisscross and tighten them slowly. So we're not going to crank them down. Again, we're not working on a car engine. We're just tightening them down, snugging them down slowly. And I'm quite sure some of my gun guys out there will be able to tell me exactly what maximum torquage we should be putting on here. But I'm just eyeballing it again. And cinch it down, cinch it down. All right, that should get us there. Now that all that's finally done, let's have some fun. Let's shoot it. So I like to shoot one first at maybe 10 yards just to see that I'm fairly close. First thing I'm going to do though is pull that scope cap off the back so I can adjust that rear eyepiece and make sure I've got that it's not blurry. A little high, a little left, but at least we know we're fairly close. We'll adjust that out and then shoot from there. Today we're using the Big Shot Ironman 18. Link in the description below. Why are we using it? Because I don't feel like wrestling with this stupid block target to get my bolts out of there today. The first thing I'm going to do is take the turrets off so I can make my adjustments, my windage and my elevation adjustment. Now we got to cock it. We all remember how to do that, don't we? Don't need to show you that again. And before I shoot, I want to make sure everything's clear from my limbs. Now, before we cock it, it's about 10.5 inches. Now it's 6. So these limbs are not going to move far, but they are going to move. So you want to make sure everything's clear. If you've got a bench, if you've got a Coke bottle, if you've got anything sitting here, clear everything off that bench or it can cause a problem. Now, be careful where you put your hand. I like to put mine on top of the scope just to keep it steady, keep it out of the way of all this other stuff going on. Get everything lined up, then you're going to flip your safety to fire. All right, so I'm way high and left. Way high, so I've got to bring it down. My elevation adjustment's on the top. If I want the bolt to go higher, I go counterclockwise. I want the bolt to come down. I'm going to go clockwise. Think about this like you're shooting a rifle. If I shoot and I'm looking and I think I need to make 2 clicks. On a crossbow, make 4. So if you're used to sighting in a rifle, your number of clicks is usually going to be twice what you normally would do. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down and left. So if I need the crossbow to, if I need the bolt to fly to the right, I'm going to turn my windage knob counterclockwise. So I'm going to come back 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see how that goes. Get everything set where you want it, then flip the safety off. Don't do that first. All right, still high and left, so I'm going to need to click more. I don't know if you heard that, but just knocked the target down. All right, one more and we should be good. All right, that went a little right. That may have been me though. Let's see again. I believe we got her if she don't jump. Now let's assume I don't have a chronograph. I do, but let's assume I don't. We're going to now move that target back to 50. I'm going to shoot again because I'm dialed in at 20. I'm going to step back to 50. If I hit a little high, that means it's actually shooting a little faster. Let's say we've got it set at 425. Now I step back and it's hitting a little low. That means it's not shooting 425, it's shooting a little slower. So I'm going to back that down. Assuming that my left and right is on, I'm going to back that down a little bit. If I've got this set at 425 and it's a R29X, which actually shoots 450, I'm going to have to dial this up because it's going to be hitting high, meaning it's actually shooting faster than what the crossbow is set at. Once I get this speed dialed in, take you a little marker, white out something, make yourself a little mark. Sorry about that plane there. Make yourself a little mark so just in case it moves, you'll know where to put it back. But once you do that, don't move your speed dial. You can move the ocular part back here. Don't move the speed dial once you get it set in. So let's step back to 50 and see if our speed is on. A little more centered, a little bit higher. Almost the same height though. All right, at 50 yards, those are all dead deer, guaranteed. All right, I'm happy with that for now. Let's go into the sniper. Let's get started with the sniper scope. I'm gonna do the same thing, just hand shoot it about 10 yards just to make sure I'm somewhere close at the big target in case I do miss. High and right. Okay, so we'll dial that out a little bit before we shoot our first off the bench. And you may notice this is the old style. This is the R10. So I'm not going to chronograph it, even though I did bring one with me. I'm not going to chronograph it because I want to do the 50-yard test again too. So the R10 is supposed to shoot at 400 feet per second. So I'm going to assume that we're going to be at 400 feet per second here, which in this first step doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is take that turret off so I can get my windage and my elevation. So my elevation is going to be the top. I'm going to need a screwdriver for this. I remember I took the orange cover off, and I'm going to have a screwdriver to adjust that. So our left and right's on the side. So if we want to make the bolt move to the left, I'm going to turn this clockwise. That's going to bring our bolt to the left. I was a little high, so I want it to come down, meaning I've got to turn this clockwise. Now, I got a big Mondo screwdriver here. The reason for that is how wide that is. This is really wide too. You could probably use a quarter just as well in here. So this is going to go clockwise. All right, we'll see how that works, and we'll go from there. Just as a reminder, this R10, you can't push that button down and make it move. I've got to push it down and do that where I take the tension off, back it out half, and it's going to come down. I didn't realize how handy that R10X and R5X, that little button without having to do that is. It's pretty handy. That is a really good upgrade, I have to say. You'll notice this is R10, so you are going to hear a click as you cock this one. All right. So where that hit, that is really high and way far to the right. So let's make some adjustments. Okay. Come down. Let's see what that got us. All right, so now left and right's on, just a little low. So we did too much on the elevation. So we're going to come counterclockwise, bring that up just a tick. Let's see what we got now. Okay. That was high and left, that was me. I jerked that a little bit. You can tell when you pop off, when you come off of there, you blink or you jerk something. It's pretty easy to tell. I'm pretty sure that's what that was right there. So let's try again. Oh yeah, that'll work. See, that's still a little bit left. Still a little bit left. We'll adjust that again. So as not to bore you with any more of that, I went ahead and took those other shots and made sure it got dialed in. We're going to reinstall the turret cap. It's very important that you do this correctly. I've seen some people do it incorrectly, or I've had some people bring in their crossbow and say this scope won't zero in, and it's real easy to see what happened to start with. So we're going to put the cap back on. So we're going to make sure our screws are still backed out. I'm putting the cap back on after I took it off, and I'm going to rotate it all the way clockwise till it stops. When it stops there, now I'm going to reinstall and tighten up the set screws. And I need to make sure those are good and snug. So included in your sniper package is going to be a whole lot of tapes for the speed. So if you've ever sighted in a single pin bow sight, almost the same thing. So you've got all these little stickers. What I'm going to look for with this crossbow is the 400 feet per second sticker. If you don't feel comfortable with doing that, if you haven't chronographed it, if you don't know how fast it is, there are blank ones on here too. I do want to show you how these go on. So with the 400, I'm going to find the 400, goes in two foot per second increments. I'm going to go down, we're going to find the 400, and we're going to peel that off. So you see the little indicator mark right there. You see the 20, the 400. Now, you can turn this upside down. The way you've got it right side up, though, you can see is the 400 is right side up. And then that 20 is going to go right in line with that indicator mark right there. Attach, try to make sure it's straight. And then it's just going to wrap all the way around. And then I like to cut that off right there, because that's the end of the numbers, and it's all the way at 100 right there. Just like that, and we are set. We're at 20 yards. We're just going to range our target and then dial to wherever the target is. That's at 60, 50. I'm glad we're finally done. It's starting to get dark out here. So if you've been with us this far, I know video number 4 is one you're going to enjoy. Troubleshooting and maintenance, especially the troubleshooting part. Hey, thanks for being here today. If you got anything out of this, please like and subscribe. It'll really help our channel. Even more so, leave me some comments. If there's something I forgot, which I'm sure as soon as I post this video, there's going to be at least 3 things I'm going to go, oh, I forgot to do that. Or you guys are going to point some things out to me I forgot as well. After I post video number 4, we're going to let these all kind of sit and marinate and then see what comes out of it as far as comments and suggestions go that we can add to another video. I'm kind of tired of doing crossbow videos. I'm ready to do some new stuff, so I'm ready to get this one done. The Ravin website has a really good deal on these right now. So I've got a link below. You can go check those out. Maybe get yourself a Ravin, get yourself some new bolts, get yourself one of those sniper scopes. I appreciate you watching today. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying our content. And like I usually say, let's turn everything off and get out and get wild. Maybe you ought to stay and watch that 4th video before you do that. But either way, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with us. You guys take care. We'll see you in the next video. God bless.